Hey everybody, this is Schmidty's Kettle Corn here. Please like and subscribe on Facebook. You can follow me on YouTube and Facebook. These are the two options that I have for people to follow me. Any questions, feel free to ask. I'll try to do my best to answer them. I'm pretty busy lately with about 5 farmers markets going on right now, so I pretty much make these videos in my downtime. When I first started this business in 2010, I got to doing about a lot of markets each week, and my body's built for doing all these markets, and I really love doing it. You're outside, you get to deal with customers, the same customers each week, and once you get to know them, they become like your family. And I have customers who come by every week and buy from me, little kids and stuff, and it's a lot of fun. In fact, before I left Kettle Pop, I actually did 850 farmers markets in less than 4 years. I worked from 2010 to 2014, and shortly after 2014 to 2015, I moved from California to Maryland to start my own business. And it has been a pretty interesting venture. I never would have imagined that I would have gone from being at the bottom of the totem pole to now being my own boss and making my own money. And when you start doing your own business and you actually get the permits ready and you get your insurance ready and you figure out that you can actually sell at the farmers market and you want to get into your own farmers market, do some research first as far as when you get into your first market. Not every market in your immediate area is a good market, and decide your radius. I have a radius of 2 hours to drive, and if it means that I'm going to make $1,000 going 2 hours and a half hours away versus making $85 for a 30-minute drive, you bet your money that I'm going to go over that farther market. And it's a longer day, and there's pros and cons to that. But as of right now, I do about 5 markets a week, and I pop fresh out of every one except for one. I pay my seasonal permit of anywhere between 138 and 175 depending on the season. And as long as I have my wash station and everything clean, and my popcorn's clean, my kettle I clean every morning, it's pretty much good to go. It's a low risk adventure. So that's one thing that I learned first off. I'm not selling hot dogs or hamburgers. I thought about it before, and I went back to making kettle corn because I really love doing it still. And the farmers markets that I do, the great thing about that is that they're 4 hours long. I give myself an hour to half an hour to an hour drive. Almost all my markets are within 30 minutes from my house. The other thing is that it takes me about anywhere between 30 to 45 minutes to set up. 15 minutes to drink my hot cup of coffee. And then with that, 4 hours of popping. And I pretty much start with the kettle corn and do the caramel corn, then do my cheese flavors, and I do maybe one cheese and one special, and if not, sometimes two different cheese flavors. And I typically do on a slow day $300. And in fact, that is one thing that I learned my first couple of years is that if you're gonna work for yourself, you got to factor in your time and how much is your time worth. Don't listen to these farmers market managers if they don't know what they're doing. For example, I had one of the market managers who was kind of loopy tell me that she needed me to come out in 40-mile-an-hour wind. For example, if it rains and if it's going to rain, like this last couple of days, I do not go out in the rain. So now that I'm my own boss, I can make the decision. Every time I go out in the rain, my equipment gets ruined. My corn bag, it's always the weekend, so it might, drop on the ground. I always hate making messes, so just stay home, have a day off. And so this is a great part-time side hustle. You can do this 1 or 2 days a week. Now, if you want to do it full-time and you're retired or semi-retired, great. I encourage you to start this business. And I do 5 markets a week. And as long as I don't get kicked out of these markets, I can do this for another 20, 30 years. And my goal after this pop-up phase is to get a nice concession trailer and to start doing that, to where I can just go right to a market, pop open a window, and then there you go. And that's what I hope to eventually do, in a few years, is to have my own concession trailer. But, if you're young and you can do it, or you're physically fit to do this job, I hope and encourage everybody to get started. And thanks for all the positive feedback that I get messages from people saying that, they were influenced by me. And so this is why I keep doing these videos, is encourage you to get going. I actually know people who have a full-time job and they just do this on the weekends to do events. The great thing about having kids, you can always use them as free labor. I don't have kids yet. I'm 37, so I always think that that's pretty funny when I go to an event and I see these kids. I see this person with 3 or 4 kids, and that's all free labor. I mean, of course, but hey, what it is. I pay $15 to $20 an hour, and the drawback to this is if you have a really bad day at an event or whatever, or if it rains completely, you still got to pay your employee no matter what. So, there's all these pros and cons, especially when it comes to events. There's a lot more higher risk for events than there are for farmers markets. Typically for farmers markets, I paid 25, 30 a day for the fee, and if I don't go out, I can keep my supplies in my van. Whereas with event, oftentimes they have it rain or shine. For example, the boat show, I had one year. This is now my third year doing the boat show. I have 1 year Thursday it rained, pouring hard. I still did 400 for the day, and I ended up doing almost 2,300 for the whole 4 days. So, you just gotta think positively when you do an event like that. And you also gotta do research on what is a good fit for a kettle corn stand. They're not always gonna be good, or know what your competition is. I did a boat show, motorcycle show. I did a flea market. A few flea markets this year. I've done car shows. Car shows are great. So again, just do research. Craft shows are also really good. They're a hit and miss. I can do 400 or so on a craft show. So just know what your market is, and eventually you'll start seeing your sales grow. And this is just pretty much an introduction of what I've started when I did my own business. 4 or 5 years ago when I wanted to do and picking and choosing what was best for me. This is Schmidty's Kettle Corn, guys. Thanks. Any questions, feel free to ask below. I really appreciate the feedback. I'm saving for a camera to do some better videos in the future, and please stay tuned. Like I said, any questions, feel free to give me a shout out, and I really appreciate all the positive feedback, guys. Thanks a lot. This is Schmidty's Kettle Corn signing off.